We acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Bunurong people, and pay respect to their elders, past and present. We recognize and respect their continuing connections to climate, culture, country, and waters. After World War II, the post-war boom in Australia saw Dandenong shift from a rural market town to the centre of a new industrial region. The most notable of the enterprises to arrive in the area in the late 1940s were the big three industrial giants, International Harvester, Heinz, and General Motors Holden, GMH. General Motors Holden dates back as far as 1856, when James Alexander Holden established a business supplying leather goods to the coach-building trade in Adelaide. World War I saw the conversion of the business to the building of car bodies, and by late 1917 the company Holden Motor Bodybuilders Limited was formed. The business quickly progressed and expanded, and by 1923 was one of the largest industrial enterprises in Australia. The following year, the company became the exclusive Australian supplier for the highly successful American car manufacturer General Motors. The 1931 merger between General Motors, Australia, and Holden Motor Bodybuilders Limited saw the formation of General Motors, Holden Limited, GMH. The partnership was highly successful, and by 1936, GMH had opened a new headquarters and assembly plant at Fisherman's Bend in Port Melbourne. After the outbreak of World War II, all GMH facilities were provided to the Commonwealth for war efforts. The post-war years saw the Australian government focus on the development of a strong range of secondary industries, including the development and expansion of the automotive industry. GMH accepted the challenge to create the first Australian motor car, a car designed and built specifically for Australia. By 1954, GMH had acquired 153 acres at Dandenong for their new body and vehicle assembly plant, coinciding with the first Holden exports. The construction of the new state-of-the-art plant was completed by late 1956 at a cost of almost £4.5 million. Many Holden milestones took place at the Dandenong factory. In October 1962, the millionth Holden, an EJ, was produced at the Dandenong plant. In 1969, the 2 millionth Holden, a HK, was produced at the plant. In June 1981, the 4 millionth Holden, a VC Commodore, was produced there. During the 1960s, Holden was a market leader in Australia for both passenger and commercial vehicles. It was during this time that the company had its peak number of employees. In 1964, Holden employed 23,914 people across Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. Their Dandenong plant attracted many migrant workers. Post-World War II, GMH is said to have had an employment officer riding on migrant ships to sign up employees on their way to Australia. The company went from strength to strength, bringing employment and prosperity into the region. In 1971, the new GMH National Parts Distribution Complex opened in Dandenong, which was joined by a truck assembly plant in 1973. Holden's fortunes began to change in the 1980s and 90s due to falling sales and new competition in the Australian market. Slumps in car sales, forced factory closures, strikes and retrenchments. Voluntary retirement packages were offered to affected staff members. In 1986, a government agreement led to the merger of Toyota and General Motors Holden. As a result, the Dandenong plant was used to produce both companies' vehicles. In the early 1990s, General Motors closed its Dandenong plant, and in 1997, the plant was sold and repurposed into an industrial park. We hope you enjoyed this short snippet of history about Greater Dandenong. This project has been put together with the support of Dandenong and District and Springvale and District Historical Societies. Without their significant collections and expertise, projects like this would not be possible. City of Greater Dandenong gratefully acknowledges the support of the Victorian Government and Public Record Office Victoria for making this project possible.